Welcome guys, Real Madrid found an unexpected replacement for Ancelotti. Liverpool is unstoppable and Manchester City continues its downfall. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and let's get the show on the pitch. Manchester City are interested in Torino and Italy's central midfielder Samuel Ricci. Pep Guardiola wants to see a player of his profile as an alternative to Rodri. The New York Red Bulls and Los Angeles Galaxy will face each other in the MLS Finals. Chelsea's main centre-back Wesley Fofana was unable to finish the match against Aston Villa due to injury, according to Ansa Maresca. The Frenchman will miss 4 to 5 weeks. Harry Kane's injury in the game against Borussia Dortmund was not complicated, but he will be out for at least 2 weeks. Napoli are set to sign Liverpool striker Federico Chiesa. The Reds are willing to consider a loan option. Tom Kearney has scored away from home in the Premier League for the first time since March 2010, with this being the longest ever gap between a player scoring in away matches in the competition. Ruben Emery became the first Manchester United manager to take a 2+ goal lead at halftime on his Premier League debut at Old Trafford. Liverpool scouts are closely following the progress of Bournemouth winger Antoine Semenyo. The club is considering the possibility of his transfer. Aston Villa and Argentina goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez was injured in a game against Chelsea. He was replaced after the first half. Tottenham could sign Sunderland goalkeeper Anthony Patterson to replace the injured Guillermo Vicario. Barcelona scouts attended the Europa League game between Midtjylland and Eintracht to take a close look at Omar Marmoush. Sporting director Roberto Leib would replace Edu at Arsenal. The Gunners have already agreed on his move in the summer. One of the leaders of PSV, Malek Tillman, is determined to move to the Premier League this season. Several English clubs are interested in his transfer. Joshua Zirkzee scored his first brace for Manchester United in yesterday's match against Everton. After a 0-5 loss against Atletico Madrid, Valladolid, owned by Ronaldo, fired its head coach Paulo Pizzolano. Fulham's attacking midfielder, Andreas Pereira, apologized to the club for an interview in which he talked about negotiations with Marseille and his desire to move to the French club. Lisandro Martinez and Kobe Mainoo will miss Manchester United's next game against Arsenal due to suspensions. Las Palmas attacking midfielder Alberto Moledo has a very lucrative transfer offer on his hands from Al Hilal. The player is valued at $20 million. Mikolo Oyarzabal scored his 100th career goal for Real Sociedad. He also has 50 assists. Juventus have joined other top clubs interested in Ipswich Town top scorer Liam Dillard. Tottenham are keen on the transfer of intra-central midfielder Davide Fratesi, who isn't happy with his playing time. Aston Villa, West Ham, Brighton and are very interested in loaning Mikhail Mudryk until the end of the season. Chelsea are ready to consider it so that the player gets more experience and game time. Szczesny is delighted, absolutely. Like all his family, he is delighted to live in Gava and not in Casteldefels. Even though these towns are in the border, he is equally happy with his position at the club. I think the time will come when Hansi Flick and his staff, after all, they see everything themselves in training, said Wojciech Szczesny's friend Łukasz Wisniewski. Manchester City's disaster continues. Pep Guardiola's team is without a win in 7 consecutive matches, and the losing streak in the Premier League has already stretched to 4 games. The 0-2 loss against Liverpool dropped City to 5th place, and the gap from the leader is already 11 points. Write in the comments, can Man City catch up with the Reds? At the end of the game, when Mohamed Salah had already made a 10-0, Liverpool fans started chanting at Guardiola, "You are getting sacked in the morning." After that, Pep turned to the crowd and showed the number 6 with his fingers, meaning the amount of his Premier League trophies. On social media, football fans are already starting to this to Jose Mourinho, who once showed 3 fingers at a press conference, referring to 3 Premier League title wins. How incredible Liverpool played. Man City created almost nothing in front of Kuvi and Kelleher's goal, and it was their second big win in a week. On Wednesday, it was 2-0 against Real Madrid, and now the same score versus Man City. And Mo Salah was asked again about his expiring contract. Honestly, it's not in my head. Until now, this is the last Man City game I will play for Liverpool, so I was just going to enjoy it. I will enjoy every second here. Hopefully, we just win the league and we'll see what will happen. Real Madrid is as close as possible to Barcelona. Los Blancos beat Getafe at home 2-0 and moved closer to the Catalans with the game against Valencia in hand. Kylian Mbappe scored his 10th goal for Real Madrid and Jude Bellingham scored for the 3rd game in a row. But during the game, Bellingham collided with Getafe goalkeeper David Soria and felt some pain. Mbappe even went up to the Englishman to check if he was okay. Fortunately, Jude remained conscious. Ruben Emery won for the 2nd time in a row at Old Trafford, but this time it's more dominant. The Red Devils destroyed Everton 4-0, punishing the opponent's defense for mistakes. Marcus Rashford scored twice and Joshua Zirkzee also made a brace. Christopher Nkunku is unhappy at Chelsea as he was promised a main striker role during his transfer from RB Leipzig, but at the moment, he completely loses the competition to Nicholas Jackson and only gets game practice in the Champions League. PSG, which is Nkunku's home club, intends to take advantage of the situation. The French champions are ready to offer Chelsea in exchange for Randal Kolo Muani, who is not getting enough minutes at PSG, and Nkunku is interested in returning to Paris. Despite the win over Getafe, Carlo Ancelotti's future at Real Madrid remains uncertain, and the club is starting to prepare for life without the legendary Italian coach. Defensa Central informs that Real Madrid is considering a very unexpected option. Carlo Ancelotti can be replaced by his son Davide, who is Don Carlo's right-hand man in the coaching staff. Some executives at the club greatly respect Davide Ancelotti for his innovative ideas and see him as the ideal candidate to replace the current manager. However, for now, Real Madrid plan to stick with Ancelotti Sr. until the end of the season. In the coming summer, Liverpool is very much at risk of losing two leaders of its attack, Luis Diaz and Mohamed Salah. The Reds cannot reach an agreement with Diaz on the terms of a new contract. The Colombian is not satisfied with salary offered to him by the club. This prompts him to think about a possible transfer to PSG or Barcelona, who have been interested in him for a long time and are waiting for the right opportunity. The situation is similar with Mohamed Salah. His contract expires in June, and the Egyptian winger has made it clear to PSG that he is no longer ruling out a move to Paris as a free agent. As reported by L'Equipe, the French club and the player have already started to discuss pre-agreement terms. The match between Fiorentina and Inter was supposed to be a highlight of the 14th round of Serie A, but the teams did not finish it due to a terrible incident. In the 15th minute of the game, Fiorentina midfielder Edward Bowe fell to the ground without any contact. The young player had an epileptic seizure that stopped his heart. Fortunately, doctors managed to restart Bowe's heart and he is currently in intensive care. His life is no longer in danger, but doctors will conduct additional tests. Guys, find out how Ruben Emery lives in Manchester and enjoy interesting videos from on our channel. And don't forget to subscribe. Enjoy watching.